There are many ways to tank in Warframe. You can pile on health and armour, use abilities to deflect bullets, have seemingly boundless amounts of shields, or simply leave this plane of existence, to name a few. But today I'm going to teach you how to tank by running out of shields intentionally, and in the process become nearly immortal. I'm the Engineer, let's solve a practical problem. Full disclosure, this isn't a new invention. The type of tanking in this video is shield gate tanking through instant shield restoration and using the invulnerability period granted at 0 shields. I'll just call that gate tank from here out. Also, if you want to see or discuss more playstyles live, you should definitely check out my live stream at twitch.tv/TheEngineer, where I stream Warframe every Wednesday and Sunday with other games on Fridays. Now, by far the simplest way to gate tank is to combine the aura mod Brief Respite with the gear item Decaying Dragon Key. The Decaying Dragon Key reduces your max shields by 75%, while Brief Respite generates shields when you spend energy to cast an ability while you're below max shields. With the right choice of frame and ability, you can fully replenish your shields with a single ability cast. The actual tank then is that when you run out of shields for the first time, you become invulnerable to all damage except Toxin for 1.3 seconds. After that, if you recover some shields but hit 0 again without fully recharging, the invulnerability period only lasts 0.3 seconds. If however you fully recover your shields, then the invulnerability resets to 1.3 seconds for your next shield break. By fully replenishing your shields with an ability cast, you regain this invulnerability window on demand. The Dragon Key is crucial to reduce your shield total so that full restoration is cheaper to achieve. What few hit points you lose out on is meaningless at the levels where this kind of tanking is appropriate, as most enemies should be nearly one-shotting any normal amount of shields already. As part of this method, Brief Respite can be scaled up both by having allies bring the same aura, and by everyone using the Coaction Drift mod to enhance the aura's effectiveness. Now, the aura is only half the battle. You still need to cast an ability that costs energy to convert into shields. The casting time of your chosen ability also matters, as time spent casting is time spent not killing or avoiding damage. Luckily, there is an ability which can work for absolutely every eligible frame. Molt. Saren's Molt has a 50 energy cast cost, making it quite versatile for gate tanking. It is also an instant cast ability with no long animation. It provides secondary benefits in distracting enemy fire and cleansing status, and Molt is available to all frames by subsuming Saren to the Helmim system. So with that in mind, I'm going to use Molt as the benchmark for gate tanking. As gate tank relies on energy being spent, the less energy you need to spend, the better. The holy grail in that regard is gate tanking using a max efficiency build, which reduces cast cost to 1/4 of the usual amount. For Molt, that's 12.5 energy. In terms of the various frames interactions with Brief Respite, we can split them up then into 8 tiers considering this max efficiency. Tier 1, we have Grendel, and only Grendel. Now this isn't saying he's the best frame, not even close. I'm saying he's the frame with the lowest requirements to make gate tank work. Due to a base of 75 shields at level 30, Grendel can be solo with just a Brief Respite mod, and fully gate tank using Molt on max efficiency. For 12.5 energy and the aura, Grendel recharges his gate tank. This is extremely efficient in terms of modding, making it something you can fit onto many Grendel builds easily. Nezha and Valkyr and their primes are tier 2, as these frames can gate tank with just 2 people bringing the Brief Respite aura. They can gate tank solo as well by reducing their efficiency or adding on other mods, which I'll cover in a bit. But for max efficiency and aura related mods alone, it takes 2 people to allow tier 2 to gate tank. All of these frames come under tier 3, and these can full efficiency gate tank with 3 people using the Brief Respite aura. That still leaves 1 other person in a squad able to bring any other aura mod. Likewise, the rest of the slots on all the Warframes are again pretty much up for whatever other builds you're using, aside from of course modding for max efficiency. Tier 4 frames can also gate tank with 3 people, but those 3 people need to be using Coaction Drift in addition to Brief Respite to enhance the aura effectiveness. Without Coaction Drift, you'd either need to use other mods or a fourth player must be present with brief respite to get enough shields. At tier 5, and by far the largest group of frames, these require a whole squad of 4 people to bring brief respite for a max efficiency gate tank. Any fewer auras will leave the frames short of a full shield recharge, which simply doesn't work at all. Tier 6 frames require everyone in the squad to be using brief respite and coaction drift in order to pull off the full gate tank, with just all related mods. Again, other setups can be achieved with fewer people, which I'll cover in a moment, but this is the limit of aura coaction only for gate tanking. This penultimate category of frames, tier 7, cannot use just aura and coaction in the squad to gate tank when running max efficiency. They can still pull it off with reduced efficiency, making Molt cost more than 12.5 energy, but that comes with the very obvious cost of needing more energy. For comparison, while tier 2 frames could go full efficiency in a 2-man squad on just brief respite, tier 7 frames in the same setup cannot even get away with just using streamline without making the energy cost too low to tank with. And finally, the bottom tier, 3 frames which cannot gate tank with max efficiency Molt no matter how hard you try. Luckily, these 3 frames are Frost Prime, which can instead block attacks with the Snow Globe, Revenant, which can tank far better using Mesmer Skin, and Hydroid Prime, who has absolutely no place in a high level mission. Sure, you can use him if you want to, but it's like trying to cut bread with a spoon. Even if you succeed, you can't deny it's the wrong tool for the job. Lavos, Hildrin, Nidus, and Inaros simply cannot gate tank whatsoever. The first 2 because they don't have energy, and the latter 2 because they don't have shields. It's pretty obvious. Now so far I've been hinting at additional mods to support brief respite and gate tanking. Those other mods are the augur set. Just like brief respite, augur mods also generate shields when energy is spent to cast abilities. The augur mods also don't have the caveat of being below max shields to activate, but gate tanking relies on running out of shields in the first place, so that doesn't matter to us in this video. Augur mods, however, are individually a lot weaker than brief respite, each contributing 40% energy to shield generation versus brief respite's 150% per aura, or 198% if everyone is bringing coaction drift with their aura. Of the augur mods, most have main stats also worth using outside of even gate tanking. Augur Secrets grants ability strength, Augur Message grants ability duration, and Augur Reach grants ability range, while Augur Pact grants damage to secondary weapons similar to Hornet Strike. Augur Seeker is a much worse augur mod, granting just status duration on secondaries, but at least it can be added without hurting too much. Lastly, Augur Accord is actively detrimental to gate tanking, as it increases your shield capacity, ruining the tank. Whatever you do, skip that one for this style. These augur mods, added alongside brief respite, can help frames gate tank on more efficient setups or with fewer active squad members. For example, tier 2 frames can gate tank solo on max efficiency if using 4 augur mods and the aura, or 3 augur mods and coaction drift with the aura. Similarly, with appropriate amounts of augur mods, tier 3 and 4 frames can get by with 2 players, tier 5 and 6 can get by with 3 players, and tier 7 can yet pull off gate tank with 4 players if the tier 7 frame also uses 3 or more augur mods, in addition to everyone using brief respite and coaction drift. Now throughout I've focused on max efficiency, but if you have enough support behind you for energy, things like Xenaric's Void Dash, Arcane Energize, or a frame which can replenish energy, you can get by on worse efficiency. Likewise, keeping yourself on the move to rely on your gate tank less often will naturally save energy and increase your chances at survival. For example, throughout I've been showing Sarin Prime, a tier 5 frame for gate tanking, pulling it off solo, with no other abilities in the process. This somewhat scuffed Zero Former build is what's making it work. Molt and gate tank make up the majority of survivability here, while Prime Sure-Footed prevents knockdowns, and Adaptation gives a bit more defense to health in emergencies. Arcane Energize and Prime Flow ensure plenty of energy to keep tanking with, while Arcane Avenger benefits hugely from the number of hits we allow ourselves to take and turning that into much stronger crits. For this, I just threw the 2 pistol augur mods onto my equipped secondary and otherwise just didn't use it. What this all shows is that not only does gate tanking work, you can do it without needing formers on optimal frames. Although naturally, former and optimal frames will give you more reliable results. This isn't the holy grail of tanking, but it is another tool to have in your arsenal, or simply another toy to play with when you feel like mixing things up. And that is gate tanking in a nutshell. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, and if you haven't yet, absolutely subscribe to catch more guides as they go live. And as always, cast Molt, gain shields, and fight well, Tenno.